Good morning, another beautiful day in God's kingdom. Today we're going to take a look at a curious story. I call it the curious story of the Cushite, of Cushi and Ahimaaz. But let's take a look and see what we find in the book of Second Samuel. And you see what I'm talking about. Second Samuel chapter 18. And we're going to read from verse 19. Prior to this, the Bible tells us that Absalom, the king's son, had been killed in battle. Basically, Absalom had risen up against his father, cast his father out, ousted him from the throne, and now there'd been a battle and Absalom was dead. So let's take it from verse 19. It says here, Then Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok, said, Let me run now and take the news to the king, how the Lord has avenged him of his enemies. And Joab said to him, Joab was the commander of the king's army, said to him, You shall not take the news this day, for you shall take the news another day, but today you shall take no news, because the king's son is dead. Then Joab said to the Cushite, Go tell the king what you have seen. And so the Cushite bowed himself to Joab and ran. And Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok, said again to Joab, But whatever happens, please let me also run after the Cushite. So Joab said, Why will you run, my son, since you have no news ready? But whatever happens, Zadok said, Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok, said, Let me run. And so he said to him, Joab said to him, Run. So Ahimaaz ran by way of the plain and outran the Cushite. Now let's stop there for today. And what do I find here? We find two gentlemen, two men. Both of them had the job of messengers. They were runners, because of course in those days there was no internet, there were no mobile phones, there was no way to pass a message across, but by somebody actually taking the message physically and going to the place. And they did that by running. And so naturally, Ahimaaz thought he would be the one called to do it, because that was his job. It seems like that was his own job. He was the one that was the bearer of news to the king, regularly. But in this case, Joab said, No, the news today is bad news, so you are not going to take that news. Somebody else is going to do that job. And still Ahimaaz said, Please let me run. you know sometimes we might think that we're the best person to do a job. We might think that we're the most qualified person to do a job, but that might not be God's plan. God might say, No, for you, I'm reserving you for another kind of purpose. There's something else I want you to do, but this one, I'm leaving it to somebody else. And when that happens, of course, what is it that we're supposed to do? We're supposed to accept it. We're supposed to embrace whatever it is that God has called us to do. Because whatever it is that God is giving to you to do, that is exactly what He wants you to do. And that is exactly, the best place for you to be in. That is exactly the right fit. It's putting a square peg in a square hole, putting a round peg in a round hole. God fits you exactly where you're supposed to be. So in this case, Joab said, No, today it's not going to be you that's going to do that job. Somebody else, even though you don't think that person is qualified, even though you think you know better, even though you think, it's your right, or it's your, it's your position or whatever, God might be saying, Nope, it's not you this time. This time it's somebody else. And what you should do is you should just do what? Accept it, embrace it, and in fact, celebrate the other person that has been chosen for that role. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.